Prophet Noah alaihi salam was sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to a very stubborn people. Prophet Noah was appointed an apostle at the age of 480. His prophetic period was 120 years and preached for 5 centuries. He waded through the flood when he was 600 years old. And then after the flood, he lived for 350 years. Prophet Noah is the grandson of Prophet Idris. Prophet Noah alaihi salam has a strong physique of noble heart and extraordinary patience, humble, sincere, and very obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet Noah was the first apostle to be appointed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At the time around 3043 until 3993 BC, in the southern region of modern Iraq, after the death of the Prophet Idris, the faith began to thin and Satan, the devil began to tempt the people. Then they began to like to make states, devastating the good people who live among them. At first, the state was made to keep their memories of good people alive, but over time they began to worship the state. They believed that the state will bring goodness to them, protect them from evil, and provide for all their needs. Among the states they made were the 5 states they glorified the most, namely Wadan, Suan, Yonghuta, Yoga, and Nasran. The people of the Prophet Noah were the first group of humans to worship idols. Even later generations did not know why the state exists. They only knew their parents had prayed to the state.
Allah sent Prophet Noah as to remind his people and return to worship Allah SWT. The Prophet Noah began to preach to his people to return to Allah, asking for mercy and return to the way of Allah SWT. The Prophet Noah invited his people in various ways very diligently, coming to one person for the sake of no day or night for around 950 years. But only about 80 people followed the Prophet Noah. Most of these followers of his were poor and menial workers. Most of his people closed their ears slightly when the Prophet Noah began to preach to them. They were haughty and arrogant, and they even challenged the Prophet Noah to bring doom to them.
Noah never meant to stop stealing. It was slated with on the left eye. No, it's like this. Bring that down to us if you are in that trade. We are sure that not them will come to us because of or that's you read just lying.
The Prophet Noah complained to Allah about the outrageous defiance of his people. Allah said that indeed the followers of the Prophet Noah would not increase by only 80 people, the rest they would not have faith. After the decree, the Prophet Noah prayed to Allah.
My Lord, to sleep not let end of the heads and dwell upon the earth in dead. If you let them dwell, they will undoubtedly let your servant thirsty, and they will only give with them with dead and ungrateful children. My Lord, forgive me, my father, mother, and mother, and trust my house with faith in the house. Woe believe men and women, and to sleep not at to house are jalim but discrown.
Allah commanded the Prophet Noah to make a great ark. In those days, the science of shaping began to develop. Allah taught the knowledge to the Prophet Noah. The Prophet Noah and his followers began to make an ark out of thick wood. So he planted thick trees, and after 40 years of age began to be cut down. The process of making the ark for 400 years, the radical reserve by the Prophet Noah began to become so. Seeing the making of the ark felt strange to them, let alone that they live far from the sea.
Behold it, it's evident that Noah is crazy. What is it to make a ship, huh? To sail in the forest.
Prophet Noah and his followers were patient and remained diligent in completing the ark. And in the end, the great ark was complete. That was the first ark made by man. Then Allah commanded to gather animals, a pair of. All were transported to the ark with people of faith. All the families of the Prophet Noah, except his wife and son Canaan, did not want to enter the ship because they did not have faith.
Meanwhile, on Friday the sky darkened, the wind blowing strongly lightning thunder. The rain fell very heavily from the ground, radiating very heavy water. The longer the water gets higher and higher, it drowns the trees as well as the houses and people outside the ark. When the Prophet Noah looked around him from the top of the ark, he saw his son Canaan was saving himself from the flood. Because of his affection for his son, the Prophet Noah said,
"My son, escape to this ark. Thee shall be caused a surface of the storm. Escape to those who are on the dark."
No, father, I will climb this hill. Surely I will survive. Suddenly came a big storm, and then Canaan was no longer visible. The Prophet Noah was very sad, but he was sincere with the decree of Allah. In the ark of the Prophet Noah, sincerely consecrated and prayed for mercy with the believers. For 6 months, the Prophet Noah and the believers lived in the ark. After that, Allah made the earth swallow the water. The ark was anchored on the land again. The believers came out of the ark with the consecration. Thanksgiving they offered endlessly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.